Radio on ESPN New York. A little bit of fun with you and Tyler on the radio, watching that or what?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, Peter. I mean, that start in the first quarter from the three-point line was absolutely insane. To be shooting 9 of 10 at the end of that quarter was incredible, and finished the game with 25 made threes, setting a new franchise record for a postseason performance. Just really good stuff up and down the roster.
Monica, I did get to hear you singing a little bit during the broadcast as well when I did the halftime hit, so it's nice to see your singing voice was available in this one. But it was really a lot of singing the praises of this team. There's no question. And it's the approach that they've had ever since down 2-1 in that series to Atlanta. Was there no surprise that this team came out in the start of this game locked in and ready to go in a closeout game, even though they were up 3-0?
You know, Han, I was not surprised that they won. I was surprised at what it actually looked like. And that's why I said to close, and maybe this is a little risky for me, but I wonder if we've actually seen the best yet. Because every time this team steps on the floor, since those 2 games in Atlanta that they dropped by 1 point apiece, it feels like they're growing and getting better in one way or another, right? Tonight, you get a big-time performance from Deuce McBride. We haven't seen him shoot that well since maybe before he was injured, right? Yeah. Landry Shamet, now he's got back-to-back games under his belt. And so this team, the base, right? I'm training for the high rock. So your aerobic base, the base of this team is continuing to get wider in terms of who you might need to call upon as this postseason continues, and the confidence in each individual continues to grow.
And Monica, let's not forget, we talked about it pretty late in our first segment. No OG Anunoby in this game too, and everyone seems to be stepping up. What are you seeing from Landry Shamet?
That's what I'm saying, Wally, right? Like, I don't know if we can rank the 2 closeout performances we've seen so far. Obviously, 41 was historic and all that, but that was with a healthy team. Like, you get to this one with the team, to your point, that's missing one of their key guys. Not somebody that's just been hanging on at the end of the roster, but OG Anunoby has been one of the most productive top 3 for sure, if not top 2 in terms of this postseason. So that's, to me, as we sit back and take it all in, first of all, winning, you guys have covered sport for a long time. Winning is so hard to do. And so right now, I think the way that the coaching staff is pulling in one direction, the players are pulling in one direction, the support staff and the families all pulling in one direction. And I don't mean to make this like pie in the sky, but I think anytime we look back and read organizations that have had the privilege to be a last team standing, all of that matters. And so to me, as the coaches have challenged one another to figure it out, as we saw in Atlanta, as the players are challenging one another to figure it out and to show up on both sides of the basketball through this series, I still kind of think the best could be yet to come.
All right, Monica, fingers crossed on that. As always, we appreciate it, and we will see you in the conference finals next week.
Sounds good.
All right, we talked to Karl-Anthony Towns. Alan, he's averaging in these playoffs about 10 assists a game. His career average is 3 assists a game. I mean, the whole way that they have changed this offense to fit his skill set and the way he's taken advantage of that might be the headline here so far in this postseason.
I think you're right. I mean, I really do think that that's a big part of the story with this team and this offense and what is unlocked. And Mike Brown kind of said we sort of stumbled upon this when it comes to the offense. It was a matter of just having to see it. And he loves being. That's why I asked him the question about the passing and the art of the pass and how much he prefers that more than anything. There's a play you remember in this game. Like, there's one when most big men take that up and just try to make a layup in an M1. But he sees his peripheral vision for a big man is better than most. It's very Jokic-like, I dare to say it. But look at the numbers. The numbers do tell you that. Right, here's the play I'm talking about, Wally. He was trying to pass and realized, okay, I'm open. I better shoot it. And that's not typical.
Most consecutive games with at least 6 assists in the same playoffs in franchise history. Karl-Anthony Towns now with 7. And again, the playing time, he only played 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's the
He didn't play over 27 minutes in any of these 4 games.
Well, I love what he said, you know, when I asked him the question just about what you found, your confidence. It's the trust factor that the coaching staff had to make some changes to the offense, to trust Karl-Anthony Towns and other guys to orchestrate the offense, and then for the players to repay the coaching staff and get the job done. I mean, that's a great synergy between a locker room when you have to make adjustments when your back's squarely against the wall, you're down 2-1 against Atlanta, and you have to play a way you really haven't played much all season long, and then you take the risk if you're a coaching staff, say, we're going to do this, guys. let's come through for us. And you come through with flying colors and the team just explodes to the next level. That's what Karl-Anthony Towns was referring to, the trust factor that goes back and forth between players and coaches. It's just great to see that evolve. And as a result, now I think we're seeing a true championship contender with the way this team is playing.
All right, we've showed you some of the pictures from outside of MSG, also a watch party inside MSG. Let us now join Alex. Most points for the Knicks guys ever in a playoff game.
Check.
Okay.
Yeah.
3-point field goals made. 25 the total for the game, ties the league playoff record.
Check.
First half, 18, ties the NBA playoff record. First quarter, 11, ties the NBA playoff record.
Check.
And the most first quarter points in Knicks playoff history with 43. And I think that about covers it. It's amazing how they started. You're the former player. I mean, how do you start a game 11 of 13 from downtown?
That's just, this team is completely locked in. They know how to finish a series, obviously. We saw that against Atlanta, what they did to Atlanta. And I just think they just attack each individual matchup. They play the game the right way. They have guys all over the roster that can shoot. They're very skilled as a team, and this is without OG Anunoby. We forget this.
Haven't mentioned that yet, by the way.
No OG in the lineup.
Yeah.
And obviously, this team has guys that are ready to come and step up and make plays, and it was just fun to watch because that was beautiful basketball.
And the 33 assists, the ball moving around, like the ball movement was excellent. And there'll be a lot of criticism of the Philadelphia Sixers defense in this game, especially the beginning of the game. But you have to credit the fact that the Knicks just had them, to use Wally's term, in a blender throughout this game. The ball movement, whipping around, finding the open man, it made it almost impossible to rotate quick enough to get out the shooter.
And Philly in the first quarter, how many open looks did they miss?
Yeah.
Three after
They
three, they had a good look at and could not convert. And the Knicks up by 19 after the first quarter, and they never looked back. Just getting started here, our extended post-game coverage of the Knicks advancing to the conference final for the second straight year as they blow out the Sixers. A lot of happy fans outside. 144-114 to final. 26 seasons. Last time they were in the conference finals back-to-back years, 99-2000. How about Deuce McBride? Came into this game, guys, only 4 of his last 14 from 3. Gets a start, second straight start, because Anunoby's out with a hammy. And Deuce McBride just took over this game early. Tonight's New York State Lottery power player is Deuce McBride. 4 of 4 from downtown Allen in the first quarter. 6 of 7 in the first half, and 7 of 9 from 3 for the game.
And it felt like a matter of time because he's such a good shooter that once he found some rhythm, you figured he was going to have a breakout game. No one saw anything like this, of course. 7 for 9. I mean, the last time a Knicks player had a game like this, Dante Vincenzo in Game 7 against Indiana, he had a franchise record 9 of them in that game. But with Deuce in the starting lineup, he's a floor spacer.
Yep.
He's a guy that you can easily do the spray threes to, and he's so good at catch and shoot threes. And that's what it was supposed to look like for Mike Brown. But again, I think guys fed off of his early makes.
Totally.
And it seemed to get the Knick crowd going in Philly. And everybody else seemed to feed off that.
And then when you're up 3-0 and you come out with a punch like that, that's where Philly's just like, seriously? Like Deuce now is knocking threes like that down like this? And then look at the way Jalen found him. Jalen made a couple extra passes, saw that Deuce was locked in, wasn't going to miss. They have great chemistry together. That was just overall a big-time performance by this squad. And, they just got to now use this rest to their advantage. That's going to be very important, and gear up for it even to get tougher. You can't expect it to get easier. It's only going to get tougher as you step up in weight class.
Now think about this too, because I mentioned this earlier. So they're at 53.8% shooting, right, in this game. They shot over 53% in this series. They are leading the NBA playoffs in field goal percentage. They're over 51% coming into this game. The only other team over 50% in the entire playoffs is Oklahoma City. And they're at 50%, 50.9 going into their game later. Like, it's just showing you their offense and their efficiency has been a big part of the story offensively. And I don't think it gives enough credit to the team's defense and what they've figured out defensively. There's a lot that has changed with this team in the playoffs. And when have you seen a team really transform itself or find itself in the postseason?
So the Knicks get to 144 points, most ever they've scored in a playoff game. And Wally, Jalen Brunson only had to score 22. They
And
get to 144, and Brunson only had to score 22.
Well, he doesn't mind that. He loves that. That's how good this team is. And he was locked in today. I mean, whenever he went up and rose up to shoot, he shot 6 for 10 from the three-point line.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a laser from deep. He was just money in the bank, coming off those screens. He knows he's going to have a little bit of room to shoot over drop coverage. And overall, like the leadership that he showed in a closeout game in this series, you know, he just continues to just get his guys to play at such a high level. And that's a tribute to him being an outstanding captain.
All right, guys. Monica McNutt now joins us from Philly. Helped call the game on the radio.